Hi, welcome to PianoFascia, the face of the piano. Today we're going to be talking about piano tuning, physics, a little bit about some of the components of the piano, mostly about tuning and physics. So, did you know that every piano that you have these days on the face of the earth is out of tune? Pretty much all the time, out of tune. And the reason why I have to say that is it's not perfectly harmonically in tune. What would perfectly harmonically in tune be? That would be when each of the notes are exactly in the harmonic series where they would be in proportion to the other notes. For instance, if you've got one note, that's a C, and if you have an octave above that C, that would be exactly a doubling of the frequency. And so if you have the next octave up, that would be a doubling of that frequency. So uh, the three times the first one would be somewhere in the middle of the second and the third note that I made. So if that is, just for argument's sake, 100 hertz, then this one would be 200 hertz, and this would be 400 hertz. So where would be 300 hertz? Somewhere in the middle? Is that G? Don't really know. Maybe it's the almost G. Did you know that if you took a doubling of the frequencies and you did that doubling 7 times, and then you took a multiple of the original frequency and you did that 12 times, it would be almost the same frequency, but not exactly the same. So what they did was they said, let's just make it the same frequency, good enough, close enough, and then average out all the other notes in between, and we'll call that equal tempering. We'll temper the piano equally. Because otherwise, when you play something that's precisely in tune, harmonically speaking, then it's only precisely in tune just for that one key, say C major. And then if you played in D major, it'd be not quite in tune. You'd have to retune the whole instrument to get that precisely harmonically in tune. And then if you're going to play something in E major, you'd have to retune the whole instrument again to get it precisely harmonically in tune. Let me show you what I mean. So if you've got one note here, say the C I played before, and you'll hear that note, but you're also hearing a whole bunch of overtones or harmonics for that note. And I will illustrate that even more if I put down the damper pedal. So you notice on all the notes here, all the strings here rather, you've got dampers. And if I push the damper pedal, these dampers all come off. I'll put it back on again. That stops them from ringing. But if I take the dampers off, you can hear all those strings ring at the same time. So if I play any note, it's going to ring indefinitely until the vibrations die down, or I put the damper pedal back on. It's also going to keep ringing till I take my foot off. So if I play that first note again, the only damper that came off that string the only damper that came off was the one that came off that string. So if I play that note again with the damper pedal off, so all the dampers off, what will happen is you'll actually hear all the strings vibrating sympathetically with harmonics of that note, and you get a richer sound. Let me show you. So the first one again, that's just that string. Now with all the dampers off. You get the harmonics and the sounds for all the strings. So I'm going to show you another illustration. So I'm just going to play that note again, but not make it sound, just enough to get the damper off the key, like this. You see that? The damper's off the key. Now I'm not going to play that note. I'm going to play a harmonic of that note. So the only string that's resonating here is that C, but I'm not going to play that C. what you'll hear is that string vibrating only with the harmonics of that string. And so you hear those notes still on that string vibrating. I'll bring the microphone closer. So that's the doubling of those frequencies. You can hear them vibrating on that string, the only string that's free to vibrate. I can play another harmonic as well that's not a doubling. It might be just 3 times the original. You can hear that. So the doubling of the frequency, 3 times the frequency, 4 times the frequency, 5 times, all of those, you'll all hear those because they're natural harmonics of that string. And if you're going to tune the piano precisely like that, then it would work and only work for key signatures based on that note. I'm going to play a note now that's not in the harmonic series of that note, and let's see if that string resonates with that frequency. No. You can actually even hear a little bit of the fundamental frequency. No. No. The only notes that are ringing are the ones that are in the harmonic series, the multiples of that original frequency. That's it. Yep. The G, close enough. Now I'll play a B flat. No. Ooh, that one did, because it's close to that one did. So I wonder what all the frequencies, I wonder what notes they translate to. I wonder if there's a way to find out. Well, it just so happens I've got an electronic keyboard that instead of retuning my entire piano to be perfectly harmonically correct for C, I can use my electronic keyboard that will instantaneously play notes that only are in the harmonic series of C. And then I'll play notes that are not in the harmonics of series of C, and you'll hear how out of tune they sound. So here I am in another part of my studio here, and I've got my electronic keyboard here. This is a Roland RD700NX. For those who are interested in that, it's a weighted 88 note piano. It even simulates things like you just heard over there, where you have a series of notes and you put the damper pedal down and they had the sympathetic vibration in the harmonic series from all the different notes. So it's kind of cool, giving you an idea. Not bad. So what I'm going to do here is illustrate the different temperings. So what would happen if we actually did put the whole instrument in another tempering, so that it was not equal tempering, if it was tuned specifically for the harmonic series of one particular fundamental note or one particular key. So we've got here C and C major scale, and we're going to play a triad. That's the C major triad, C, E, G. And if we hear that normally in equal tempering, then it'll sound okay for all of those. So C major triad, D major triad, E major triad, F, G, A, B, and C major triad again, and C major, C minor, D minor. So it works okay. It's not precisely in tune. What would precisely in tune sound like? Well, I'm going to adjust it now and put it in a different tempering. There you go. That was easy. better than tuning the whole piano. Now if I play a C major chord, it's precisely harmonically in tune. I'm going to put it back. I'll put it back to equal tempering. Can't hear too much difference, can you? Back to precise tempering for C. Now I'm going to play a D major chord. That sounds a bit out of tune, doesn't it? E, F, G, okay, A, not bad, B, back to C. Now, if I put that back to, I'll do on minor chords. So C major, this is in just C major, perfectly tuned. C minor, that's okay. D minor. Okay, that one that was really bad before, B minor. Yeah. C major, perfectly in tune. Back to equal tempering. Good enough. And that's why they did it, because it's good enough. Okay, so what would it be like if you played an actual piece? In case you couldn't quite hear the differences with just the triads, I'm going to play the same piece I did last week, which was last episode, which was the Bach's Prelude in C major from his 48 Preludes and Fugues. And I'm going to play that first of all in equal tempering so that you can hear what that sounds like. All right, okay, it's just an excerpt. And now we're going to do that in the same key, and we're going to do it in precise tempering. Okay, so you might hear it sounds a little bit more precisely in tune. Now I'm going to do it with precise tuning, but not for C major. I'm going to tune it for D major and play the piece in C major, and you'll see just how bad it is. Sorry, C sharp, just to, make it worse. So this is tuned precisely for C major harmonic series. And I'm going to play a piece tuned precisely for C sharp major harmonic series. And we're going to play that piece in C major. Not designed for that. So back to equal tempering. So this is averaged for everything. Much better. Interesting point about that. Bach was the guy who figured out how to tune a harpsichord, a piano-like instrument, in equal tempering so that you could play in every major and minor key, and then went and wrote the 48 Preludes and Fugues in every major and minor key and played them all in front of an audience without tuning the harpsichord in between each piece, just to illustrate that you could do it. Thank you, Bach.